Welcome back everybody to a new video for New World. Today we're going to go over the top 10 weapons that could be added to New World for updates in the future. Now this is not taking into account any data mined info, although I know that some of it has been data mined here in the future. I want us to have as much fun as possible, and I think using data mine info completely would be cheating. That being said, let's get right into it with number 1. The pistol. Honestly, a pistol would be an amazing thing to have. It'd be something great enough to use with shield protection and an attacking weapon. The weapon damage could be a little less than the musket, of course, because it's not as powerful of a weapon, and a little less accurate, but it has the ability to be a one-handed weapon, also have more defensive capabilities, and also better movement. Number 2, dagger. I think we saw this coming. A dagger is a simple form of an attacking weapon. However, when paired with something like a sneak attack, which you could see in Skyrim, you could do some major damage. And especially if you could throw a dagger like a hatchet, so bonus damage would go a long way with this kind of weapon. Number 3, dual wielding. Okay, so maybe this isn't so much a weapon. However, when this is every major DPS player's wet dream, how could you say no? I feel like the only major setback is that would be strictly an offensive style ability and basically no block. However, offense versus defense, it's completely up to you. Defensive, maybe not so good in PvE, but PvP, not very many people defensively play anyway. Number 4, a mace or chain mace. Now for those of us that believe a cleric should have a handy blunt weapon with the occasional spike, then bring in this ball and chain. This would be something that was used before the sea voyaging days, and that is something set in, but if we can bring in a gauntlet that can control ice, then I don't see why we couldn't do this too. It'd be something along the lines in my imagination of what Brigido uses in Overwatch. That little bit of extra reach would be awesome to have. Number 5, a katana. Any fan of the longsword style weapon will be heavily favored to use a katana, especially for a jolly good time swinging the sword at more than just fruit and acting like a ninja. This weapon should be a two-handed weapon with very few instances that had a short sword that was called a katana back in traditional Japanese days. However, in this regard, I think it'd be awesome to have. Now, we're going to go with honorable mentions. The Bat, I may be mispronouncing that. Those of you who are a Star Trek fan will appreciate the absolute savagery that this weapon would cause. It is an absolute beast in a close range fight and has more opportunity to parry than be dodged with it. It would definitely be something to be scared of staring down on a battlefield. Number 6, the Perdiche or the Polearm. Now this thing is the stuff of a monk style nightmare if you love staves. By combining the weapons we associate with mages with a hefty chunk of iron at the tip, creating an unholy union of a long reach player staple, it's definitely, if used, would be a two-handed weapon, but with more athletic and acrobatic dodges at higher levels, I could see where this thing would be so handy. Number 7, crossbow or a heavy crossbow. Now I can't say that this one wasn't going to be on the list because let's be realistic. However, it's something that we could put in the game, and especially as it comes to heavy hitting on targets. Add other styles of weapons that could be attached to a crossbow, like a kipple shot or a grappling hook, and you can save yourself a functioning arsenal and potentially things like flaming bolts and everything else like that. Number 8, the cutlass or the scimitar. Now based on the old folklore of the pirates, a cutlass would be fantastic. A scimitar, if you're functioning off the data mine information that we have a desert coming up, would be an excellent weapon instead of a boring old sword. Now, it may not end up as fast as the rapier, but it should have more of an ability to hit harder. Number 9, the absolute Godgun, the blunderbuss. Who in the right mind can think of a crazier weapon to deal massive up close damage in their face? I don't care about your axe when I have a shotgun staring you down on your nose. The only downside that I could see would be the drag of time for a reload. I believe it should have a massive reload timer with this massive power, but that's just me. Number 10. Now this one's a bit out there, but it's the Chakra. I get that it is a bit out there. However, if it's a magic-based weapon, I could definitely see it being used as a boomerang-style weapon similar to something like Xena Warrior Princess's Chakra or Wonder Woman's crown. At the end of the day, it's a similar feature to the hatchet, but much faster than most weapons. I would imagine that this would be a poke weapon and it's strictly one-handed. However, it's to be determined. Okay guys, that is it for our top 10 weapons that should be added to New World. Tell me in the comments below if you agree or disagree with this list, or if there's anything that you feel that you'd like to add to it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, Legion.